Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss what is the future of Kenya. Here today we have four guests with us who are going to give us their insights and perspectives on the subject. Kindly introduce yourselves.
My name is Liz.
My name is Mealy.
My name is Dennis.
Hi guys, Stacy.
So thank you for joining us. Thank you for being with us here for this topic. So my first question goes to all of you. What does Kenya mean to you? And to provide some context, we all realize that not everyone has the opportunity to talk about the future of the country they live in, for the reasons of them not being accepted into the country or being marginalized in some way. But for us Kenyans, we are in a position to, we have the rights, and we should see this as an honor to be able to discuss this topic and be part of the change. So, what does Kenya mean to you, Dennis?
So first of all, I think Kenya is a very phenomenal country, and as for me, Kenya means to me to be home, to be welcome, to be able to live with my culture. Kenya means that I identify with everyone in Kenya because we breathe the same air, under the same sun, under the same president, and under the same nation.
Oh, that's good. Elizabeth?
I'd say that Kenya to me is my identity, as simple as that.
Oh, it's your identity. Interesting. Nelly?
To me, Kenya means freedom.
Wow, freedom.
Yes.
For me, it's my motherland, a place I really enjoy being in. Yes.
Oh, nice. Those are very, very interesting points. So what is Kenya to you? And my second question, does religion play a role in the underdevelopment of Kenya? What do you think, Elizabeth?
No, actually, contrary to many people's opinions, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Does anyone have a contrary opinion to that?
Yes.
Okay.
It does.
It does.
It does.
Okay, what do you mean when you say it does?
Because some developments have been put down because of the way people believe in the things they have been told throughout the years. As in, the time we are right now, we have evolved. We need to be open-minded to some things and believe what our ancestors used to believe and what they used to know in the past, because they were here and they left, and we are the ones who are here. So there are some things in religion that have put down the way Kenya is supposed to be, but it's not there yet.
So you think people are focusing on religion more? I can see you agreeing with that.
Yeah, I do have a lot to say on that topic. I do believe that religion does play a positive role in Kenya, but it also does have a lot of detrimental effects when it comes to advancements. For instance, when we talk about medical advancements, especially when it comes to vaccinations, when it comes to talking about things that especially focused on women health, religion does have a very restrictive take on it. For instance, going back in 2019, we had the HPV rollout by the Ministry of Health, and the Catholic Church, or the Association of Doctors that's held by the Catholic Church, were very much against it, and they were preaching what's it called? They were preaching abstinence to a problem that can't be solved by just abstaining from it. Yeah, so a lot of those issues have been brought down by how religion views advancements when it comes to health.
Do you think this can ever change?
Yes, I do think it can change because it's not a monolith. The religion or church is not a monolith. There are people with different opinions on how things are done. So apparently what happens is the one with the most power, or the one that guides the flock, is the one that gets to make the decision. So by choosing the leaders who have more progressive views, that's the way we can change how that is viewed.
What's your point on it? Because then I think you want to say something.
Are you sure? Okay, for me, I think it's a 50-50 thing.
For
me, I think religion can either transform or deform our country. Reason being, the same religion, we've seen there have been developments from, say, the church. The church has been able to establish schools. Like there's some churches that have, it's a church and then they have, like, if it's St. Stephen's, then there's a St. Stephen's school. But also, you can imagine the number of churches we have in Kenya and the number of services we have, say, per weekend, if it's on a Sunday, first, second, and third service, and the number of people who turn up for these services in all those churches, I feel like it's a lot of people, so their thoughts and beliefs are easily influenced. Majority of people, they are easily influenced by what they will hear in church. Basically what I'm saying is it's 50-50 for me. It can either be a good thing or a bad thing in our development. So it's both developing and underdeveloping our country.
Talking about underdevelopment or underdeveloping, how does foreign media and beliefs play a role in the underdevelopment of Kenya? Not just about the churches. How does the foreign media and beliefs play a role in this underdevelopment? Dennis?
Oh, okay. So when it comes to media or international media, especially we can subdivide that into two groups. There's the Western media and the Eastern media. And by Eastern I mean in China or the Eastern nations. So according to the Western nations, we are usually a poor nation which can't feed its own population, full of corruption and also full of bigotry. But once you're in the ground in Kenya, you see that that's not exactly what's happening. Yes, there is poverty, yes, there is corruption, but that's not the guiding force of Kenya. So I do believe that our colonizers or the Western masters, as we once called them, have a very detrimental, but a very backward view on what Africa is as a whole. And yeah, it does have a very negative effect.
Does anyone have any take on that?
Okay, so I love how nowadays people are coming to tour Kenya and they're like, oh, this is not what we see in the media. So many people are coming and realizing that what the media is painting isn't really what is going on here. And the other day, the IMF ranked Nairobi as one of the worst places to invest in. So when people see that on media, they're like, we can't come to invest in Nairobi. But many a times, it's not even the case. So foreign media plays a very huge role in our development.
So, if the talent of Kenya has a strategy of escape, who do you think will build our country? The Chinese and Europeans? Like, you find someone with a master's degree or someone with a PhD and they're like, okay, I want to go and work abroad. I want to go and get a job somewhere. So, who is going to build our country for us? Stacey?
I think it boils down to us. I feel like it's us to fix us. There is no one else who's coming to save us. We have all these engineers, we have all these very good doctors. I don't see the need of us keeping on hibernating to different places to just go and work in the different places, because we don't need like Chinese to come. Sorry to say, but we don't need like say Chinese to just be the ones to come and build our roads.
Nelly?
To maybe add on that point, yes, we can fix us, but you can't do it on your own.
Yeah.
The people who are on top there have to support us in some way for us to help ourselves. I'm talking about the people who do these businesses, the people who they have a lot of, like the ministers, the people, the parliament,
The government.
the government in short.
But they are Kenyans.
Yes, if they because the support
It's not there.
it's not there.
But we can also be honest and say that no one can build roads like the Chinese.
Exactly.
No one can build houses or mansions. like the
But
Chinese.
this is
But
about
we can
this is
go
about
get
our
that skill.
But
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
about
Come
our
and build it.
talent going outside. We have very talented people.
Yes, we
They
do.
are going to the States, they are going to India, and they are functioning so well, and they're doing like good jobs. So we are losing these people to the outside market because they're saying, okay, there's no money in Kenya. Okay, if I work here, I'll be paid such and such money. But if you go and work outside, so
And
who
also,
are
I
we
think
going
it's
to
just
rely
the
on?
belief that, like the way you're saying, the people at the top, they have so much trust on like foreign people. So you can find a very good doctor, will not be given a particular surgery to conduct, and they'll just have to wait for a doctor from the UK. Yet, until they acknowledge that we actually have our people who can do that thing, then that's what I meant by it's us to save us. Like those people need to acknowledge us first.
yeah.
So you
that we're
think
able
the
to work
problem is
together.
not the people, the problem is the people who hire people.
It's the systems
It's the
that we have in
system.
place.
So if one wants to go out, it's not for like their own doing. They are doing that so as to earn more because they didn't get an opportunity at that place.
Yeah.
But also we need to agree that we are still learning, yeah. So we have the expressway built by the Chinese, and it's superb, it's amazing. And then when you see a project that is done by a Kenyan, you're like, I'd rather the Chinese that just come and do it because So we are still learning.
We are still a
But
third
in the
world country.
meantime,
Ah.
we are still learning. We have to recognize that.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. So, talking about we're still a third world country, why do you think Kenya will be a first world country, if ever?
When do we think?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know.
Can I
300.
Oh
Okay,
my
can I just
goodness.
say these things of first world, second world, these are things that people just came out together and said, oh, these are the Soviet Union countries, these are the NATO countries, let us just rank them. And it was a very long time ago when it was still, world wars were still going on. So I'd really like them to come back and now rank us and see what they're looking for as they're ranking those. Because if I can access my medical care, I can access my education. So what are they using to rank this first world?
Liz, so you think as at now we are first class?
I don't
First
know
world.
what
It's
first.
just a
I don't know what
perception.
first world is. That's why I want. I don't know what it is. I don't know what a third world country is.
Yeah, but
honestly.
if we are talking about like first world, second world, and third world countries, assuming we are a third world country, let's compare ourselves to the first world countries like America. In Kenya, we don't have mass shootings every day.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We don't.
That's true.
We don't have racism. Okay, we do,
But it's a free country.
not.
It's
it's
the
not
perception
that.
of free.
It's not.
The
It's
perception
just
of
the
freedom
perception.
Exactly.
that they were given. That's why they're like
So
that.
that is
Yeah.
why I would like these people to come again and say, this is what we were looking for. This is what we are looking
So
for.
do you think Kenya will be a first world country?
I do think Kenya will be a first world country, but giving it a timeline will be a bit tricky because as of now, in 2022, right? 2030, which was our vision, 2030 is 8 years away. Those are two terms. That's a one-term president. No, two-term president, that is. And whoever gets in, I'm not sure there's anything he can do to make any difference from what's happened right now. Unless maybe the inflation is going to be a bit higher. Who knows?
And if anything, it's going to be just more of fixing
Yeah,
the
bandage.
things that have already happened.
Just putting on bandages.
Like you can't progress
So
without.
technically,
having
you
fixed
can't
all
put
these
a
other-
timeline to Kenya being a first world country.
I mean, unless
You know, being first world, it's
Okay,
not
well,
just, it's about the infrastructure, it's about the companies that you people have and whatnot. It's just not the surface. Nelly, I can see you.
To me, I don't think it will take that long. Because if you look at where we were like 5 years ago and where we are right now, there's a lot of change that has happened in Kenya. Like, you can't compare. For someone who went to committee 5 years ago
Yeah.
and gets released right now, they won't recognize where they're going or where they are at the moment. So I think we are taking our time. I don't think it will take a long time. There will be,
So it's just a matter of time.
yes.
if you could put decades on it, how many decades?
I can't put it, maybe I can't even put a whole decade on it.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, you have such trust in the system.
No, it's with
God
the
willing,
process
we'll be
that
here
I'm
to give you a
seeing.
call.
Yeah. You know, you can tell with the progress. You
Okay.
can tell, you can just tell.
Okay.
Because if where you lived 5 years ago, if you can put it to how it was then and now, it has a big difference. Someone even who traveled outside the country and came back,
Yeah.
they'll be shocked.
And does Kenya primarily own the economy of Kenya? Like, who owns Carrefour? Who owns Pizza Inn? And is it really okay for Kenyans to live in a country that primarily has thriving foreign companies over their own?
Wow, okay.
I'll go first. I don't think there is any country in the world that is not maybe relying on another country, say for one thing or another. And for us, it's just unfortunate that maybe I'll say it again, the systems we have, okay? The people who are on top, or the who's and the who's, are probably not just choosing to invest in, because we've had so many cases of like, you know, like maybe I won't mention names, but like those big wigs, they are maybe buying property and every other thing in other parts of the world, but not choosing to do it here. So I don't see it as a bad thing per se, provided we are, you know, like we have the services we need. It's not a bad thing to me. Whoever owns Carrefour and whoever, as long as we are able to shop, that's it. And as long as it's fair enough, because hey,
And so for you, it's not a must who owns this, if it's a Kenyan, don't you think it will make the economy grow better? Because
If I heard that a Kenyan has a supermarket somewhere, do you know how Kenyans hate Kenyans? Like, I mean, even if you opened a business and told your friends, this bag business, it's me, I'm the owner, your friends will not buy
They
from
will
you.
go to
Like,
buy.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they'd rather buy from a Chinese and wait for 2 weeks shipping.
Elizabeth,
As much as these are foreign chains, the employment they're giving is to Kenyans. So even if you're talking about, oh, they're owned by foreigners, Kenyans are the ones who are working there, and this money is circulating here. So I don't think it's a big deal as such. And also we've seen how supermarkets or chains that have been owned by Kenyans have ended up. So I don't have a problem with that.
so you think that our management, we are not good at managing these kinds of things, so we need foreign people, foreigners.
We don't need
foreigners. We don't need them, but if they're able to bring that,
But
why not?
we've seen what has happened. Look at Tuskies, look at these things we have seen. So we can't deny that we're not so good. So we're trying. If Carrefour wants to be here, I'll go to Carrefour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about you, Dennis?
Okay, I do share some of the sentiment you have, but okay, what my understanding is whether we are supporting brands that are from the outside or whether we are supporting brands from the inside of Kenya. So most brands of Kenya, like the Tuskies and the Kenyan Youths of Kenya, the ones that are fallen, mostly were owned by families. They were corporates, but they were family corporates, and sometimes family businesses fail, and they fail in a very big particular. And yes, Kapu is good. We'll go to Kapu.
Quickmart is nice.
Yeah, it's also nice, but you know, I think the people that come from abroad to put business here, they have a lot of risk on their end, and they do a lot to manage that risk. And I think as Kenyans, when you're given money and going to start a business, you just look for the top 10 businesses in Kenya that are start. A general shop, a laundry, a car wash, and just pick it and start. You don't do any market research, you don't do any volatility, you don't do anything. You just start the business. And I feel like international brands are good at managing risk.
Exactly.
So are Kenyans truly supporting Kenyans?
I think we support the ones that seem more legit, like Quickmart. I mean, Quickmart is the big upcoming.
So you want someone to grow to be big so as to support them. You can't just support them from the ground up.
I think for Kenyans, for most Kenyans, not all, for most Kenyans support brands.
Oh.
Yeah.
They support brands. If it's not a brand, I don't want it. That is the mentality I see with most Kenyans. Because you find your friend is producing amazing things, but because she has her brand, not someone else's brand, a foreign brand, you don't want it.
Oh, so
Yeah.
they want brands.
Yeah, we support
So
brands.
because my thing has not been known, but 5 years from now, if it's known, it's
will
if
support you.
Now
so we
they
will
come,
support.
yeah, they come now, they want to support you then.
But that's a very bad mentality.
Yeah.
It is.
It's sad, but that's where we
It's
are.
like we have this brand, shoe brand that's launching their first sneaker. They're called, I think it's Kitukali. They're launching their first sneaker. But who is going to buy that sneaker when
That's a brand.
other people are going to
Why?
buy?
If it's legit, you're going to buy it.
It's legit.
What are you talking about?
It's legit.
Kenyans support Kenyans.
But are they going to buy Nike or Kitukali?
What?
We'll buy Nike,
Nike,
we'll buy
buy
Kitukali.
Kitukali.
Oh, so long as it's known for you.
As long as it's legit, I'm buying.
Oh,
Oh,
so
so
for
it's
you,
the
you can
social-
support Kenya. Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm
the
not
social-
going to
legit.
support a Kenyan because you're a Kenyan. If your thing is not legit, I'm not going to support it.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. Is there a percentage on legitness? How do you know something?
You know, you have to try something first for you
Yes.
to know if it's legit.
Legit.
No,
Exactly.
I feel
And
like
that's exactly
you only
what I'm
need to see
saying.
a celebrity have it.
Not necessarily.
But I support him. I feel like for us Kenyans, we are highly influenced by what if say Amina Abdi or just any other celebrity went and tried out this Nivea product or just said that I used this on my baby's hair, and you know, like everyone will want to buy
I'm not
it.
like that.
Most of Kenya, for me I feel like I'm like that somehow.
Yeah, I
like
get
I'll
you.
wait for someone to go and give me like a review of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But you know, again, sometimes these people lie. Like sometimes they're
Yeah.
paid to
They're
just
paid,
come
yeah.
and say that.
Yeah.
So Kenyans are not truly supporting Kenyans. That is what we have
No.
figured.
It's
No,
50-50.
So
no, it's
Come on.
70-30.
Support
70
it.
being
no 70 not supporting.
Oh,
90% support.
Yeah, because even
Oh,
support
I don't-
goes
I
as
don't
much as people who are in the music industry. Like you find Kenya, support your own.
But like,
You-
what do we sing in all honesty?
There
Even if
was
you wanted to
someone
support.
who tweeted like the Nigerian stations that play Kenyan songs.
Yeah.
So it's for the Kenyan artists to promote. You know, these people, it's like they've slept. Because for a while you just hear music from some specific people, and the ones who are making music, they've slept. So
So they're not promoting their brands technically.
We'll get there.
So are Kenyans ready for the improvement and development of Kenya? What should your everyday Kenyan do in order to improve the country? What movements should be implemented? Because something must be done to improve the country.
Well, so Kenya is a very political country, let me just say, and our development mostly relies on politics. We're saying that we are tired, but if you go to the ground and really listen to how people are reasoning, I don't think we are ready for that. So until we get fed up, then we'll be ready. For now,
It's more of Kenya Sihami.
Oh.
Thinking about it.
So we are not ready.
it
for the
doesn't feel like we're
improvement.
ready. But we should be ready.
But what should your everyday Kenyan do in order to improve this country? What measures should be taken?
It's not even in our hands. It's not that much in our hands.
Don't you think we
don't
have?
The only thing, no, the main thing for us is voting out people who are not working and everything, and just voicing whatever we feel like. But an everyday Kenyan, you tell
And maybe
me.
just follow, I don't know, like maybe, I don't know. I'll say maybe just be a very good citizen and just follow the law, because that's why we have like laws to govern us.
We've been
But if you cannot even follow the 10 commandments, how will you follow
No,
It's
the
hard.
commandments to
Kenyans
it's like
and
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, if you can't follow the 10 commandments, how will you
Yeah.
follow the Kenyan law?
I follow the 10 commandments.
Have you not stolen before?
Nelly, you can see you have a contrary view on that.
For Kenyans and laws, they're just like
And that's why
opposite.
we not, you know,
They're
like, if
just
you
like
cannot be governed,
opposite magnets.
So
you know?
we can't improve this country. We can't develop this country.
We
No,
can, only if we
I
are.
do believe we can develop it, and I do think it's in our hands. It's only that we're not using our hands.
Yeah, and the
Okay,
mentality.
like if I can recall correct, I've had friends. Let's say like in high school, we were all in high school. Sindio?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
And I remember we had students who are very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. Like we had a student who was teaching chemistry to chemistry teachers. That kind of smart. The kind of smart where someone right now is doing a double major at school, but once akitoka, nothing.
Yeah.
Has nothing to show for
Yeah.
it. So I think one thing we should, normal Kenyans or typical Kenyans should do is get that mentality back. The mentality of knowing things. The mentality of reading books. Anything just to uplift your own brain up.
But
That's
even if
after
you are
reading them, where we
uplifting,
take
so
that.
Let me tell you, no, you don't have to use it, but
So why are you reading if you're not going to use it?
it will make you a very good judge of character, a judge of life. You can be able
So
to
where
choose
will be
good
where,
leaders.
I'm a
where,
very good judge, but I'm poor.
but where is being a good judge going to take you in Kenya?
Okay, like let's give you a random figure. How many people do you think are poor in Kenya? How many people do you think are in poverty? And by poverty, I mean having less than 50,000 in their bank accounts.
a lot.
A lot, maybe
have
even
nothing
65 plus, 65% plus, correct?
Yes.
So if those people were not even educated, knew what they wanted in on their leaders, because right now we choose tribe. I'm certain of that. We choose tribe. I've talked to my parents to vote for Jokoya, but they want to choose tribe. I don't know why. So like if we just take the mentality of we are a tribalist, we don't look in a tribal way, we look in a manifesto way. We look at William Ruto said they're going to open a bank for hustlers. Is that a feasible thing? You can't know that if you don't know shit. If you don't know, sorry for cussing, but if you don't know about anything in accounting, you don't know if that's possible. If you don't know if bank can actually make that monetary commitment that Wajoko is saying, you don't know if that's feasible. But if you haven't read enough on that, you're only taking the word of what they're telling you.
But what's
So
the
as a
essence?
country,
What's
we
the
need to
essence of
read.
it in regards to developing us as a country? Because I feel like if you
Baby steps.
baby steps, but you're gonna do it for you, like you're doing it for you, and then at the end of the day you'll be like, okay, fine, I have all this knowledge, but because Kenyan people are still behind, let me go and probably invest elsewhere. So you see, still at the end of the day, you're not developing Kenya. I feel so.
Okay, assuming you have all that knowledge you took in, you could stand for president, you could stand for the MP, the Senate, and do the changes.
But will the people elect me?
yeah, they could.
They don't know you.
They don't know me.
People know you.
And it could work, but it could still work for
If
you.
for you, you're still struggling to convince your mom.
So you're not ready for development.
Oh no, we're not.
Oh my goodness, that is so sad.
Yeah, but we are not. I don't
Some
know. We are not.
maybe, but most.
We are
We're
but
not
now
even
what?
actually-
Or
Yeah.
maybe people don't care. People just don't care. People are just living.
No, people care.
Do people care about this improvement?
They
and
do.
development?
And that's why
100%.
they like really go hard on Twitter and everything when you
Yeah.
have increments on prices of things.
But I feel like
Yeah.
But we don't do anything.
I feel like Twitter
Yeah, we
is only
just-
there
yeah.
for venting.
We
They
should go there,
also
but
do,
we can't read.
they also do protests, like peaceful protest. Like there was a time they did.
Yeah, they
the
did.
time, yeah.
But they should do a
No,
protest
we
for
do
Parliament.
in this country.
in light of
Go
protest.
home and-
So talking about that, what should be implemented so as to keep the people and the government in check, to keep them accountable? Like which technology or what should be done to keep everyone in check? The government and the people.
Here in Kenya.
Just
Like
political should be
accountability,
limited in that
accountability. If you say about government funds, the way you hear the stories, okay,
Yes.
someone stole this. So what should
They can be accountable, but they cannot face the consequences of their accountability. You know, they can be
Yeah,
made
I know,
accountable
we've
of their
seen a lot.
actions, but
will
they
not
should
face-
make just one person an example.
Okay, that's a very
They
good
should
point.
make just one person as an
So
example.
what should be done to that person according to you?
Young ones.
So for me,
Style.
it depends. Okay, it depends. If you're talking about a corrupt judge or someone who's supporting someone who's doing a lot of bad things, this judge should be hanged. You see the City Garden, City Park. You see City Park. They have a lot of trees there. They have a City Park. They have a lot of trees there. They should just hang that one person. You know, a lot of people pass through that. Just
Hang like a billboard or hang like that.
hang.
Because you are corrupt.
No,
Yeah,
there's
they
some
want to set
things
an
you
example.
hide.
Like they do it in China.
To set an
Yes,
example.
like you see, like in India, if you rape, you're just shot there and then you're killed like that. So if a judge is supporting someone, you see, there are people who have killed. They just hide their sins with these judges. with
So you're saying like maybe a
image.
judge who supported a killer should be killed.
Not just a killer. You know, there are judges who have a big rota of the things that they've done, and they're not good things. Bad things.
So they're being probably bribed
But again-
to sweep things under the
No,
rug.
my only problem with that is that Kenya is a very political country. So a judge, you might find that somebody is really innocent, but because of political reasons or whatever.
And then how
they
many
ju-
judges will you hang?
Ex-
You'll hang very bad.
A lot
But
of
you
people
make
hang.
an example with one.
But now you will not kill one and leave the rest. People
No,
will be on
As
the road.
in, people will start
Uh-huh.
people will start to be
As in,
lying.
we have to be
But
in
what's
somewhere.
lying?
Try Kenya and see. Try Kenya and see. You think it will- I don't
Yeah,
think that will
I
work.
mean, like-
Oh, no, it wouldn't.
I don't think it can work.
I think it will work because
With just one,
They're
not
just
maybe
going-
10.
no,
there's
you know,
not-
now they're going to get
they've
smarter.
never made an example of anyone.
I don't think a judge will sentence another judge to death. For
That's
starters.
good for them.
They've
also.
never
Yeah,
been
I
given
mean-
that power or authority.
But okay, I'm
So-
usually against the death penalty in all cases. I mean, even if you kill like 50
Same.
people, still death penalty seems kind of wrong. I know people,
Same
it's,
for
it's,
me,
a,
sorry,
it's a
guys.
controversial opinion, but I don't think anyone should have the ability to sentence you on a legal termination of life.
What if that will make everything straight?
It wouldn't.
There is no guarantee.
Why?
There's no place we've seen such a thing
Yeah,
happen
look
and
at
then we
countries
say
that
it's
actually
worked.
have the death sentence. Like America does has it. Okay,
But still
multiple
people are
states do
killing.
have it. They're still killed.
Yeah.
People are still killing.
Even
people
if you
still
know you
stealing.
have those things in place, the killings still happen.
But someday in future we'll get there where people
We will kill people.
No, not that. Where people will face the consequences.
Yeah.
We'll actually get there.
But
Yeah.
what if we prevented even them having to face their own consequences? What
How?
if we prevented the whole
The actions themselves.
And that's what we
if
were
prevented
saying.
corruption
What
from
should you
happening?
do to hold these people accountable? What should be implemented?
I actually have an answer for that.
Yeah, give us.
So there's a technology, I'm pretty sure most of you have heard of it, blockchain. So blockchain technology, the way it works, it makes the ledger public to everyone. So no one will be able to steal without everyone
When has
seeing
that
you
ever
stealing.
stopped anyone?
No. Look at it this way.
This is
You
the
can
Kenya we are
implement it.
talking about.
Most
But
of the
are you not the same guys who
Recorded,
said
you
baby
can-
steps?
Yeah.
Like we
You can
start
do
from
that.
somewhere. We start somewhere.
because
The technology is there.
yeah, it is there, but if we implemented it in a national wide and everyone could see where the money is going and where the money is coming from, we first take out the question of who is stealing. Now we know who is stealing.
Okay.
What do we do about that?
What do we do about that?
I don't believe that a country of
What do we do about
No,
it? I just want to know what do we do
Nelly
about
wants
it.
to say,
First
after
of all,
we
you can
see
have
this
all the
person,
We're not
we
hanging.
understand.
We're not hanging. The first thing we should invest in is a very solid prison system. Not the ones that we have right now. The ones that we have right now, those are internment camp. Those are worse. Those are bad. Because no one, even if you're a thief, you don't need to live in a very demeaning life.
Yeah.
You can live your whole life in an apartment like this.
Yeah.
I mean, the solitude itself is going to kill you. Have you seen like the Norway prisons? They're actually very nice.
No, they are.
Yeah,
We're not
a
talking
murderer,
about-
but they're living in a like.
So your point is that prisons.
they're supposed to
should
be
be-
rehabilitated, not
Yeah,
No,
they-
make you feel.
No, but we're talking about how are they going to find themselves there?
So he said blockchain, and then she said,
Now we have
what should we
evidence.
do?
Yes, we know
We've had a lot
who
of
is
We know who is
stealing
stealing now.
We know them.
But
Okay.
even right
But-
now, we know who these people are.
And what
We
are
have
we
an
doing
idea.
about it? You know.
It's just a matter
Hey.
of what. Yeah.
But I feel like we haven't had solid evidence.
Evidence.
We
Oh,
know
come
them.
on.
These
No, we know
evidences
them
are
by
there.
speculation. We know them by
They're
speculation.
just
No,
hidden.
evidence.
I'm not
Okay,
saying
then-
it's not
then
there,
we'll- oh,
but we
oh.
haven't seen
Like
it.
Then
then
we
that-
forever say that.
There's some cases that you actually just see and you say like, up and easy, this happened, this was something, but you still want evidence. What evidence?
Okay,
Yeah.
but from the way I think I have an answer for you now.
Yes.
We first liquidate everything they have ever stolen. We now know what they have stolen, how much they have stolen, right? We know, like the case of this I'm quoting. So for legal purposes, this is from a gazette
Yes.
or from the TV. We know that Wetito had stolen about 500 million. 100 million was found in his daughter's account. Such kind of things. We don't know. We collect that money back.
Okay.
If still not enough, we liquidate the assets. Right now, KRA can actually liquidate your assets from not paying taxes.
Yeah.
That's from the 2022 finance bill. Is it 2022 or 2021? Okay, yeah, that. We liquidate the assets. Nothing hurts more than having your house sold off.
So you take all their money.
Who is taking
not
this money?
giving.
The government
Not giving
And
no
then what
vibes.
are they doing with this money?
giving it back
Back.
to the public.
They're
Let
giving
us-
it back.
And then what are they doing to
Not
you
to the
after
public,
taking all
back
these
to the
things?
treasury.
You as a person, what are they doing
yes.
to you?
I
Yes.
mean, prison, like just every other normal man that all.
In a prison like the one in Norway? Must be really nice.
No, look at it this way. No, look at it this way. Imagine, you know, people think freedom is actually having a nice home. Do you know you can be free and still live in a slum?
Yeah.
And you can still be in prison and live in a 5-star hotel.
So what would you rather?
I mean, I'd rather be free. The idea is you could make the prison system more humane.
Yeah, totally. That I support.
Doesn't
But
mean
why
to be
make it
nice.
humane for inhumane people?
But some people are not inhumane, like, you know,
Okay,
like
but-
the way we save these systems of ours. There's so many people who are behind bars and they're not like really, you know,
Yeah.
guilty of the offenses they were sentenced to.
What about
Actually-
this percentage that is humane?
But
Now
let
you
me
see,
ask
the
you-
problem is you cannot be able, once they are inside there, you're not able to see who was actually very guilty and who was actually not guilty.
Yeah, true.
They are all counted as like guilty people. That's the
That's
cycle.
So-
also why would you want to?
So then just give them a humane treatment because you never know who's in there.
No, I agree. The prisons
So,
should be
so
worked
the
on.
point is blockchain, then find those people, you arrest them, put them in search.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Correctional facility.
And the reason
And
is,
then liquidate the assets.
not liquidate them, liquidate what they stole.
What
if
they
they stole
stole.
2 billion and they don't have 2 billion in liquidity, liquidate the assets until you recover the
Okay.
money.
Okay, I
Just stop
see.
questioning, yeah.
So without mentioning corruption, why do you think Kenya is a third world country? We'll start from you.
I don't think Kenya is a third world country, so I will not answer that question.
So it's the first one too.
Totally, to me, it is. We are somewhere.
I wish we were a first world country because that way we wouldn't have to be fighting for food. No, I don't mean we physically fight for it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Everything. But I do think if the reason we might not be a first world country is because of the social norms that we have.
Oh.
We have, and also colonization played a very huge role, because if you put a people in an apartheid for all that time, for them generations, like my grandmother or my grandparents did live through the British colony. Now our parents are the first generation that actually were able to move on from that. We are that generation that's going to exit now from that. We are going to finish off about 150 years now. I think the reason is because they killed off a lot of smart people then.
But was every smart person? I mean,
We've
there
had
are
a
people
chance
who are
to-
being born
yeah.
every day. We have
Yeah, but look,
and we cannot use
but
colonization
look,
every other
no,
day.
I don't mean
excuse.
no, I don't mean no, but look at countries like Ethiopia. That the ones that never actually went through colonization. Can you compare us with Ethiopia? Yes, Ethiopia is not far off from us. They don't have the mentality we have, that we have to depend on other countries. As a government, our government depends on the British.
Yes, we do depend on them, but I just don't think it's an excuse as such. We've had a very long
It's
time.
been decades and
We've had a
decades
very
to
long-
get past colonization. We can't
100 years
really,
haven't even passed.
but we can't really blame colonization for all that is happening.
At this
I
point.
know, not
sorry.
everything, not everything. You can't tell me today you experience apartheid, then tomorrow you start moving on, building a nation. We obviously took a gap here somewhere.
Yeah.
We took some leniency on ourselves. Kushukuru mwili, as you put
Okay.
it.
With alcohol.
Kupigia mwili pole.
Yeah, that. Because we did go through a lot. Have you read those papers?
No, we went
There's
through a lot, we're not denying that. Lakini,
a
kuna
lot.
shida zingine tunajitakia tu si wenyewe.
But hebu angalia, like the most developed countries, tuseme America. How old is America?
Old enough.
Over 200 years old. Sindio? It's
Old enough to be
over 200 years
fast
old.
Yeah.
It's over 200 years old.
Okay, okay.
Kenya, we only celebrated our 50th birthday. Juzi
The other
tu.
day, yeah.
So ebu imagine us 200 years old. We'd be
Tutakuwa mbali.
mbali sana. You can't even extrapolate that because tutakuwa mbali sana. And that's what I'm saying. Colonization ilitupea whole
But hizo
gap
countries
here.
zingine zenye
Very
tayari
huge.
zimefika hiyo 200, sasa pia ukapea another 200, they'll also be mbali sana. Tutakaa tu nikaa we are nothing bado ama.
Because
Hata
pia
wanatungoja tu, they're just there.
Ah,
Me, see,
hawatungoji,
me, I don't
lakini-
think your point ya colonization kwa sababu okay, because if you look at South Africa, it was they got the independence in 1991
Yeah.
and look at them.
Your history, please.
No, that's when Mandela was elected, I think.
Yeah, and look at them. They're very, very developed.
But-
You can't
Okay,
like.
it's not the same in the sense. No, it's the same. It's the same.
Stay there,
They developed the country.
It's okay.
And gain citizenship.
Yeah.
Lakini me, all in all, I just think we shouldn't use that as a.
Yeah.
In conclusion, if colonization was not as brutal as it was, maybe we would have had a chance to improve right from the start when we gained our independence.
What do you think, Neely?
For me, I just think it's the Kenyan mentality.
It's the Kenyan mentality.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what a third world country is. I don't know what a first world country is. So I need them to define it again, and then maybe we'll take it from there.
Alright, so those are your perspectives and insights about this topic. So first, I'd like to thank all of you for joining us today. It's not easy to derive such ideas and even share them or speak about them in front of other people. So thank you for being here, and for the rest of you, thank you for joining us here today and watching until the end. You should be mindful that we should ask ourselves these questions as we try to improve our country. When we are talking about improvement, we should be asking ourselves these questions. However, please reflect on these questions as the elections approach. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Leave a comment down below addressing some of the questions that were posed here today. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and thank you so much for being here, and stay safe during this time. Bye.
Bye.